Bargaining with God. The scripture passage from the book of Genesis is certainly intriguing to us. I mean, we just cannot imagine the whole situation. God has informed Abraham, because Abraham is a very close, you might say, partner of God, and is the father of the chosen people, the children of Israel, and is a very important personage in the religious history of the world. And he has this encounter with God, who says, I want to tell you something about the place of Sodom. It's going to be destroyed. They're just nasty people. They got all kinds of problems. I'm going to clean them out, I should say. Now, Abraham says, wait a minute. Oh, Lord, please, wait a minute. Because that's a little city, and my nephew is there, and he has 2 daughters, and they just got recently married, and blah, 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 blah. And he says, well, God, if we could find so many people that could be righteous, good people, would you save the city? And so this bargaining continues. It's so Middle Easterner. It really is so Middle Easterner. I had an experience of it. I was visiting Turkey, and I was in a souvenir shop, and I was just looking around. I was not really intending to buy a thing. How much junk can you take back with you to the United States? And all of a sudden, I just picked up some they were like decorative plates. That was interesting. So I put it down. All of a sudden, behind me, this guy came up, one of the salesperson. You like those? I said, well, they're interesting. He said, they're 2 for $1. I said, 2 for, I said, I went, it's too expensive. 3 for $1. I said, no. I said, 4 for $1. I thought, oh my God. I said, you just said it was 2 for $1. Now it's 4 for $1. I said, they must be worth nothing. And the guy was angry at me, and I turned around because the tour bus was leaving, and walked out of the store. And this guy's following me, like, why don't you want to buy? He had a set of plates in his hand, holding them in front of my face. I said, I don't want anything. He said, you crazy American. And I got back on the bus. I understand what this idea of bargaining is in the Middle East. It's just very intriguing. And so finally he comes to the end, sort of end of the line. He finally says, well, if there's at least 10. Now, it's really interesting because that 10 is very important in the Jewish community. The word 10 people are necessary for a prayer service. It's called a minyan. 10 is the minimum, you might say, necessary to conduct any kind of public worship service in the Jewish community, especially the morning prayers. They need a minyan, as they call it. So, but he ends at that point. But the story continues because there were not 10 people righteous in Sodom, and the city is destroyed. So sometimes you say, well, is God open to bargaining? I mean, some people do talk about bargaining with God. God, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. Actually, some people have even gone to the point of saying, Lord, take my life, don't take my daughter's life, or don't take my little grandnephew's life, or my great grandson's life. We've tried to bargain with God, but that's not really the reason why this passage is there. Because the clarification comes in the letter to the Colossians that we hear. Because if Abraham thought that was a pretty good deal, 10 righteous people God would save Sodom. God offers in Colossians the ultimate deal. You might say, boy, do I have a deal for you humans. And that deal is so clearly pointed out, is in Jesus Christ and in our baptism. He says, you were buried with Jesus Christ in baptism. You were raised with him through faith in the power of God who raised him from the dead. And even when you were dead in transgressions, in sins, he brought you to life with him, having forgiven all your transgressions, obliterating the bond against us with its legal claims, which was opposed to us. He also removed it from our midst, nailing it to the cross. I mean, this, you might say, the legal claim is sort of the debt of humanity to God is sort of taken, all of the sins of the world, and nailed to the cross. And God says, this is my bargain. I found the one righteous one. And in that righteous one, Jesus Christ, you find salvation. You don't need to bargain with me. You don't have to bargain with me. I've given you the best bargain. So please accept it, live by it, and find what a wonderful bargain you have from your God.